So just keep an open mind, okay?
What?
Just keep an open mind.
What?
Whether they lose or win.
I'm getting the score up now. It is loading. They won the World Series!
How long have you been a Red Sox fan for?
All my life! For 10 years!
That's great.
10 years. I want to say something about myself, which is I've set up a policy. It's a disability for my brain to connect, to have coordination with my legs.
So he was talking to me about the pitches he was going to deliver, and I said, Kyler, I don't think you're pitching the whole game, buddy. I think you're just going to throw out the first pitch.
I had people that I didn't know even talk about me. Oh my gosh, what do? I was a little nervous at that point.
It occurred to me that wouldn't it be nice to bring a little bit of that Boston flavor back to Vermont? The next thing you know, we started digging holes. The light bulb went off that this place could be used for much greater good than just even fun for family and friends.
Joining us, an ambassador from the state of Vermont who we've had on before. Jasper's back with us, Jasper Goodman.
Teenage sports analyst Jasper Goodman.
Our favorite teenage baseball analyst, Jasper Goodman.
I mean, you're 13. How did this happen?
If all you think about is how you're going to fail, you can't succeed.
Welcome.
It's like this one here. I mean, he's the rookie of the, and there he is.
On the scene, stealing the show.
I grew up in a Red Sox house, a Boston house. The Celtics, the Red Sox, and then the Patriots took over our lives. My father is huge into the Red Sox and really just grew up on the legend of Boston. The fact that sports were so important to him, it just made it more important to me.
Tonight's the night the Red Sox could win the World Series, and fans are having watch parties all across New England.
Don't go, Red Sox! I think they're going to win. They've been on top all the way. I say the devil and all don't want me, because I'm over 100 years old. I've outlived everybody.
She knew every player and said I listened to every game. She was a fanatic.
He's only got like 79 pitches.
87. R-A-R-A. Yo-ro-ro. 0% APR financing for I guess. Couldn't have a name like Schmidt. Oh, it's warm. You never know what you're going to dream about. So, I'll take the Red Sox.
Yastrzemski will not get its home run. A 3-run home run for for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead by a score of 3-2.
Her name was Margarita Pierina Domenica Scanzaroli Camoli.
She used to carry this black AM, FM, handheld radio everywhere she went.
Red Sox baseball, held her going. When she was turning 100, we were thinking, well, what can we do? What would be fun for her? And we were like, we got to go to the Red Sox. We get there, and of course, she's got this Red Sox jersey. The number is 100 on the back, and it says Grammy. And she's got all of us around and the grandkids. And
we all walked down the streets, and we all had Red Sox things on.
And Grammy and I got to sit there, and I got to do the play-by-play for her that day because she couldn't see.
And she just loved that, going there so much. That meant so much to her.
And she said, I'm 100 years old and 10 days today, and this is the greatest day of my life.
I got a little emotional when we signed the deal to be the official auto parts sponsor of the Boston Red Sox. She would faint. If she could see this partnership,
she does.
She would faint. I know she's looking down and can see it.
She sees it.
It's our hometown team. I think we feel like they're almost part of our family.
I remember he used to always open the living room window, and he'd put the radio right there so the kids could come on the porch outside and listen to it. Nobody else had a radio. That was the first one, I guess, in town. And they look so awful. I'd like to trim his beard. If they worked for me, they'd shave. There, yeah. He's feeling of it. He likes it. They look so awful when they get those beards. I used to see George at the foot clinic. They won it all.
Is that the Red Sox?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a Red Sox fan. Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth played for the Yankees, and Jimmy Fox played. He was a big hitter for the Red Sox. Did you see Big Papi last night grab Gomes by the beard? Yeah, well, he's going to come in.
And he's got it double as David Ortiz has put the Red Sox on top.
All right, Big Papi. I watched that every day they played.
My God, the ball game's going to be all done. What are we going to do?
In fact, I went to bed about 7. There's nothing on TV anymore, Jake.
I was wondering what you were watching now that the Red Sox are done.
Nothing.
And you're missing their parade. That's today, isn't it?
Hi, Bob. Hi.
I got a chance to sit down with 11-year-old Jasper Goodman. Jasper is one of only 12 Red Sox Kid Nation captains in the country. It means he knows a lot about the team. And he also co-hosts a Tuesday night sports program on WDEV radio. Well, Jasper, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Start out, thanks for being here. How excited are you? Opening day.
It's opening day. I've been waiting for this moment all spring training.
Here's someone who is sincerely interested in broadcasting, and he's willing to listen, and he pays attention. And I just think he's an incredible individual. I have a lot of faith and hope and for broadcasting in young people like that. I only wish there were more.
It keeps me happy, it's something that I can wake up to enjoy every single day, and I can, every night when I put on the Red Sox, that makes me happy.
It's thrilling to see Jasper growing as a sportscaster. Okay, when is the last time Troy Tulowitzki won Rookie of the Year?
They're coming up.
Getting a chance to go to Fenway and interview the players and get to know all the media personalities, it's really impressive what he's done at such a young age.
This ballpark, these fans, and this team is unlike any other. How's that feel to you?
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's a great experience every day.
having you here is unbelievable. And
I mean, we're on live radio, and I send it over to him. What are your thoughts on this? He's got nothing in front of him. I mean, he sounded like somebody who'd been in the business for 20 years. A lot of it had to do with the fact that the Sox had a little bit more to spend. I mean, I would assume that had something to do with it.
Well, absolutely, and I think when you hear Tito talk about it, he had a much bigger payroll when he was in Boston for 07 than he did with Cleveland this year.
The roots of this whole Red Sox story start with Jasper being a very shy kid who didn't particularly love going to school, and he had a 4th grade teacher in particular. They would begin talking sports every single morning.
I love talking about the Sox with him, and it made me want to, come home and maybe do a little research so I can have a leg up on him tomorrow.
So he began finding himself through this way of connecting with people.
That was the first time that I was able to be with on an everyday basis somebody who cared and loved the Red Sox.
Third time in this century, my friends, Red Sox.
The afternoon news service continues with Ken Squire's Sports. Here's Jasper Goodman and Ken Squire.
Have you recovered? Well, still recovering from the shock. It's kicked in now. I think it started to kick in on Saturday at about 7:30 when we arrived at the ballpark for the parade celebration to begin.
And the biggest thing is he's found a passion at a very early age.
I've actually hired him to write a Red Sox column for us. He has made us all want to do better things because he's already accomplished so much.
Riding in that caboose on that runaway train, I can't wait to see where the next stop is, if it ever stops.
It may be a small state, but it's, we've got a lot of Red Sox fans, and we love the Red Sox.
I love what I do. It's a part of me. It just is. I love the Sox, and it just is.
Good sports, and good night.
In 1993, when I went on a baseball trip with my 2 brothers, and we saw every major league team in 2 weeks, and we studied the fields, and I became really fascinated with the character and uniqueness of Fenway Park. And that sort of led to, the building of Little Fenway. In 2002, I called the Travis Roy Foundation. Travis is a hockey player who was paralyzed in 1995 at Boston University.
It was my first game, and it was my very first shift. And I was the first guy in. I skated, just as fast as I could. And the defenseman picked up the puck, and I thought I'd kind of deliver a big shoulder check and sort of make my presence known. And I kind of lost my balance, and just my momentum took me head first into the dashboard. I had a passion since I was probably 3-4 years old of playing hockey, and it was my love. But now my life isn't so much filled with passion, but filled with a purpose.
And Travis is a very inspirational figure. He created a foundation to help other spinal cord injured survivors with adaptive equipment, computers, ramps for their homes, motorized wheelchairs.
Pat's real, He's just real. His desire to help, his desire to have fun, his desire to share what he's built up there. His intentions are nothing but good.
There's something about the Vermonters that recognize when there's something going on that can lead to greater good. This place would definitely not thrive in other areas. Each year we've grown that tournament to the tune of 24 teams now, multiple fields, and we've raised over $2 million for the Travis Roy Foundation since that first game in 2002.
It's just been an incredible ride. I've been fortunate to get to see the best of humanity. Everybody gets to see it at this tournament.
Growing up as a sports fan here, I felt that sports was a way that I could really tell stories beyond the game. My mom was a big field hockey star growing up, and she instilled in me the need to give back. I obviously became a lot closer with my dad. He taught me to appreciate the games both on the radio and on TV. My dad got to see 2 Red Sox World Series before he died. He had season tickets for a long time when I was little. That time in the car down to the game, we always drove down and back in the same day, so it was a lot of good quality time. It was really, really hard to realize what I hadn't accomplished yet in life that they wouldn't see. I traveled down to Frozen Fenway with Norwich Hockey. It was a dream come true to work in that press box, a place where I would want to call my dad from. And I remember we stopped at the Union Oyster House, and I'm in this giant banquet room with 30 college hockey players. And then as soon as the food comes and they're eating, everything gets really quiet. And coming through the sound system was Dave Brubeck's Take 5. And that was one of my dad's favorite songs. We had played that at his funeral, and that just showed me that he was there. My dad loved my job. Here, you know the people that you cover, you know their story, you know their family. They all come to fill this building, and really this is what they live for. The student section is amazing. It's probably the loudest thing I've ever heard. The colors from each school, you can see the line drawn straight down the middle of those bleachers as to who's for the blue team, who's for the red team, and there's nothing in between. I feel like I still have to explain myself to my friends when they're like, oh, don't you want to leave? Aren't you sick of Barry? And in some ways, sure, there's always that itch to see what else is out there, but at the same time, I'm really happy doing what I do where I do it. I'm a firm believer in things happen for a reason. I was supposed to be home. I was supposed to be working in sports. I was supposed to be right here.
John Lester, John Larkey, Michael, Jed Lowry.
I think that things do happen for a reason. You know, so many people have said, oh, you know, God never gives you more than you can handle. We have it so easy. You know, it could be so much worse. And I'll say I'm so glad you have CP, because you know what? It's just the everyday little things that we appreciate, and we wouldn't have known that without him. So he's really taught us a lot. More than we've taught him, I think.
It's kind of disappointing to not do what other kids can do. It's a good challenge for me, and a good life lesson.
You know, there was a long time I blamed myself for what happened. I can finally say at this point I feel good about myself. I did everything I could. It's not my fault. And I'm doing everything I can to help him have the fullest life that he can have.
Kyler was our first child, and he was born prematurely, and we were just thankful that he survived. And
July of 2013, we did the really big surgery.
It was very painful, but his biggest worry was, do we have Nessun down there?
He actually has basically a new body to learn to deal with, because he's never had this loose body before, and so he's got to build up his core strength.
Yeah, the sun's out. I just can't wait. I'm kind of excited, you know.
he doesn't know how to see himself with somebody that has a disability.
It's a good family to help me through every step of the way.
For Kyler, you know, he has so much he has to deal with in life, and it is such an out for him.
Especially the experiences that Kyler has had with the Red Sox, throwing out the first pitch and being at the Nessun booth.
You can do this.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody.
I won't.
You can only hope that in life you can be as happy and as joyful as Kyler was in that moment. There's a select few that always leave a memory with you, and it melted my heart to see him still so passionate about the team and to be such a representative for Red Sox Nation.
I just like to be around the Red Sox and learn from them so I can play someday. And they just mean so much to me to be a good influence. And I think baseball just cheers me up and keeps me happy and reminds me of things that I can do and not what I can't do.
Kyler?
How you doing?
Students writing books.
Oh, what the heck is going on?
So you excited to go down to Florida?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? You packed yet? Well, we got something for you before we send you off. You want to see what it is? Hopefully it fits. There.
Ooh.
Wait till you see the back. You ready? How cool is that?
When he got the news, he said, Dad, it's a lifetime dream of mine. He had a lot of sleepless nights when he learned that he was going to spring training. He was just so thrilled every step of the way.
It was just great to just relax, and the sun felt good in my legs. It was just a great feeling. See ball games and get away from homework.
One of the things that he relates to is the breakdown of baseball. You know, he's so optimistic with the Red Sox and with his life. You know, they'll have a bad game or a bad season, and he's always optimistic that they'll bounce back. You tell Kyler that he can do anything that he puts his mind to, and he just there isn't anything he can't accomplish if he tries hard.
If you're a person in a wheelchair and you don't have any legs, or you have one leg, or you can't walk at all, and if there's something you cannot do and you really want to do it, then you can. Just work yourself through it. Think of positive things you can do.
Kyler's personal goal is to have crutches. We will do everything we can to get him to that goal. It's on him to be driven enough to get to that point.
That crack seems to be getting bigger. When we win a trophy, we share it. That's as it should be. This is Red Sox Nation's trophy.
New England is such a tough environment to live in. The Red Sox keep you going.
When I was a little girl, my dad took me to a Red Sox game. Well, I was totally blown away from the brilliant colors of the park, the green and brown of the field, the blue of the sky, the red and green of the seats.
It's more than just a team on the field. It's more than just something every night.
Let's say the Red Sox suck. Go Pirates.
No. What? Go Sox.
What first comes to mind when you think of Vermont?
Lovers. Right? No, not for me. Think about the Green Mountain Boys. You know what I mean? Like the rough and tumble Vermonters.
That's the second thing I think of.
In Vermont, you do what you want.
We had a really rough year, and the Red Sox made it bearable. Every day we had something to look forward to. People ask us, what's the worst thing about having ALS? And he says, Lou Gehrig played for the Yankees. 14 years ago, he had 2 to 5 to live. He stood up, he shakes the doctor's hand. He said, thank you very much, doctor. I don't have time to die. That was 14 years ago.
I love the Red Sox. I will give it.
It's always really special on the drive down to Boston, but at the same time when we go home and hit the Vermont line, that's an equally important part of that journey.
They're kind of like a glue in people's lives.
It's just a match made in heaven, I think.
It becomes the center of their life here.
But I don't think you can find better fans than around here. My God almighty.
And on the shot clock, Sorensen is 3.
When we beat Syracuse in 2005, a guy said to me on Church Street, it was just like last year when the Red Sox won. And I thought, my goodness, what better compliment is there than that?
It was the first inning, and David Ortiz came up, and he hit a ball, went into the Green Monster seats, ricocheted back out into the field. The left fielder must have been unaware that it was his 300th home run ball, but he tossed it back up into the stands.
It means a lot to me. It's like it's kind of like my dad's real tombstone, you know.
Right by Bill Buckner, right through his legs.
After they lost, one guy broke down crying in the closet. Couldn't find him till the next day. It was a mess, man. It was.
When you walked out, you're talking about Derek.
I've been using shears in the mountains, I don't know, since spring training.
When they traded Ellsbury, I was mad at Hank.
About the 6th, 7th inning, we'd have to go in and milk the cows. We'd take the radio out in the barn and...
You're gonna think I'm selling this. There was too much chicken and beer. How much you want?
Now they got rid of Jared Saltalamacchia, so he's a happy man.
Curse of the Bambino, Babe Ruth being traded in 1919 from Harry Frazee, and he wants money for a Broadway show. That's ridiculous.
That was dirty business.
Die, winner, die. You were long, you were cruel, you were hard, but you were beautiful. Classes? What is that? World Series? Oh! Oh! Yeah! Who's number one?
We've seen and we can see again something that people live their whole lives as Red Sox fans and never get to see.
10 years! Let's go!
George, he said his toenails are not growing much anymore, so he don't come to the toenail party.
Now I can die happy. Now that they've won 3 out of 10, I could die very happy.
We come here today, it's another gathering of Vermonters at the Wheels for Warmth in Montpelier, Vermont.
When I was 3 years old, I said, Dad, I'm really thinking about becoming a Yankees fan. And he said, that's all well and good, Johnny, but you're going to have to find your own food and shelter. I was only 3.